Good morning. It's Saturday, April 4th, and JT and I are getting ready to set up for an event here. It's pretty chilly out. I think it's around 30, 32 degrees. So you can see behind me, we're going to have a nice view today. We are at a sports complex, and I realize I forgot my microphone, so we'll see how this goes. I may just get a little footage here and there, but let me give you a look around. We have the Sierra in the background. This is called the Pete Livermore Sports Complex. So baseball, football, soccer, BMX, all that kind of stuff. We are on the south end of Carson City, and there aren't too many people here yet. Just starting to set up, so. And here comes JT, who's hiding behind a tree. Well, it's evening now. Been up for over 12 hours. We had an early wake up this morning to go to the Easter egg hunt, and I would say the day turned out to be a success. We had a lot of fun. I will show you a picture of how many people showed up. There were hundreds of cute families and little kids and babies, everything. So it was a great turnout for the Easter egg hunt this morning. It was a beautiful day. Started out pretty cold. I think I mentioned it was around 30 degrees when we got there. But we packed up at around noon, and it was actually very nice at that point. We also did sell a few books. And actually, as I mentioned before, when people buy a book, they tend to buy a series. So they bought, this time it was the Sheriff in Nevada series. So a Sheriff in Nevada, a Sheriff in Nevada Downfall, and a Sheriff in Nevada Corona. So we thank our new friends for buying those books. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time chatting with them. We also chatted with somebody from our local, I don't know if you'd call it a newspaper. It's an online news source, I guess you would say, but I had something in common with him. We used to work for the same newspaper. I don't think it was at the same time because I was a legal advertising clerk for a brief period of time for about 6 or 7 months, and it was an interesting job. I wasn't a journalist, so to speak. I was the person who was in charge of scheduling the legal ads for people who had to do them to meet legal requirements. And that's something I could talk about at another time if anybody's ever interested, because I didn't even really know what a legal advertising clerk did until I got the job. So it's definitely one of the more interesting things I've done in my past. I didn't last very long for a couple of reasons. It was a stressful job, and we had kids who, well, our youngest was not a fan of going to a before school program. So it was a situation where I had to make a choice, and I did. And that's not the first time I made that choice. I had another job where I actually worked from was it from like 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. I actually worked at the information desk at a college, and it was a good job. I enjoyed it. But we had kids, and since my husband worked until 5, they would be home for a couple hours, and they weren't really old enough for that. So I ended up giving up that job as well. And, those are the kinds of decisions that parents make because sometimes it's just not feasible to actually work when you have kids at home. But going back to how I got off on that tangent, had a very nice chat with the journalist who was talking to us, and we did end up having our photos in the Carson Now, which is our local news source, one of them. It's our fully online version. We also have a newspaper called the Nevada Appeal, which is where I was the legal advertising clerk, and so that was a lot of fun. And we were in a booth next to firefighters who were giving away the little plastic fire helmets and stickers and everything. So it was fun watching the kids putting on their little fire helmets. Just a good time all around. We had a wonderful day. So I did not get any editing done today. I ended up since we spend the morning out in the cold air, I was pretty sleepy when I got home and I curled up in my recliner. Thought I might take a nap, but didn't end up doing that. So I never really got the energy to get to work on my editing that I really need to get done. Um, I'm not sure I'll get anything done tomorrow because I think I mentioned yesterday that we will be doing, JT and I will be doing our weekly podcast tomorrow morning. And then our grandkids are coming over, and we have a very energetic grandchild, a preteen who so energetic. I really wish I could bottle some of that energy. Then maybe I would get some of my work done. I've asked him if he would share, and he just doesn't. Oh, but like I said, it has turned out to be a very good day, aside from not getting my editing done. So I'm thinking at this point, I will probably be starting fresh on Monday morning and just buckling down and basically spending as much of the day as possible working on these edits because I'm hoping I can get them done within a week and then get back to Battleborn Bride, especially since I keep telling people I'm releasing Battleborn Bride this year. Oh, I really need to follow through on what I'm talking about. If I can get through the next month without, you know, having some kind of a breakdown, self-induced, of course, it will be interesting. And I will say, I thank you, my new follower, who has been commenting on my videos. I am enjoying your comments, and I will be responding to your latest ones soon. I just haven't had a chance yet today, so thank you again. It is fun to know that somebody is getting some, I don't know if inspiration is the right word, but maybe finding some, good grief, now I'm so tired I can't even think of what I was going to say. Anyway, thank you for interacting with my videos. I appreciate it. The word will come to me later, and then I will just be going, oh, you know how it is, especially at the end of a long day. So I thank you for joining me on this adventure. If you are a follower and you have been commenting again, I thank you. I appreciate it. And hopefully, maybe we'll have a little community growing up here sometime soon. Uh, I'm in my 4th month of daily videos now, which is impressive, most impressive, because I wasn't sure I would get this far, and today was one of those days where I I didn't know if I was going to get any more video. Hopefully, at the beginning of this video, you did see my early morning introduction when we first showed up at the Easter egg hunt, and I did do a little bit of footage of the scenery. Didn't get much more than that because they started playing very loud music, and I don't want to get any copyright strikes. So I took a photo, which I will have probably popped in here at some point, but you can see it was a beautiful day. It is beautiful here in northern Nevada. Everything's turning very green, and it will be warming up very, very soon for real. We've already had some 80-degree days, and which is wild considering it is beginning of April, but we're coming up on when we're going to start having consistently hot temperatures during the day. Oh, the nice thing about living in the high desert is that when the sun goes down, it does tend to cool off. It may not it may not get cold overnight, but it does cool off enough for it to be more comfortable. I did grow up in an area where the summer nights were hot and humid, and we had no air conditioning. So I really appreciate living in Nevada where the nights cool off. Anyway, now that I'm all tongue-tied and really tired, I will again thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful day and weekend. Tomorrow is Sunday if you do celebrate Easter Sunday. It is not something I celebrate in a religious sense, even though I did as a child. Another story for another day, but I do appreciate anyone who has beliefs that they feel strongly about, and I prefer that they not be harmful to other people, but Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Anyway, I do hope you have a wonderful day and weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.